In this video, guys, we're going to look at why often a bad spell of trading is a blessing in disguise. Stay tuned. Hey traders, warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining me. All right, so we've all been there. We've all done that. We've all had a spell of bad trading. We've just got enough's enough. Stop the rot. The account balance is not looking good. And if I carry on this trajectory, this is going to look dire. I can recover from this. This is a small drawdown. It is not an issue, but it could be an issue. And we've all been in that situation. Hopefully, you're at a situation now or you're at a place in your trading now where you stop that and you don't go any deeper. Very often, unfortunately, at the beginning of our career, we don't do this and we turn into a cycle. It gets worse and worse and worse, and we end up blowing up accounts. And many of us have done that throughout the career. But as you progress through, drawdowns are inevitable still. They're not going to be eliminated, but we deal with them differently. And so here's some things, guys, I think I've got for you 5 today that I think are good reasons why often a spell of bad trading is a blessing in disguise. So first of all, it forces you to reevaluate your trading. This is the biggest thing. You know, I know for me that very often, if I have a spell of bad trading, I recognize it quickly. I'm getting far better at that, and so I should be after trading for, also 2001, so a lot of years. I should recognize when I'm about to have a bad spell of trading, or I should be able to stop it quickly, which is one of the things. But my point is that very often for me, it's because my trading has changed style or strategy. And from a personal perspective, that's normally when I'm trying to become a little bit more active than I should be. Whenever I trade, my best is when I'm looking at the market from a broader perspective. I'm using my price action execution skills to execute on a broader thesis. So what's the main idea for the day? What am I looking for? I'm looking to buy a low. Okay, where's the low? Now use some of those techniques that we talk about a lot with price action to justify and find that low, and then trade off that and look for a move over the rest of the day. Or if I'm trading stocks after earnings, then again, I'm waiting for a specific thing. For me, the trap I fall into occasionally, and like I say, fortunately, I'm trying to get better even more at this, is to stop it earlier, is that I will be trading a little bit more actively, I'll be more scalping, you know, and that's okay for a short period. But if you continue to do it, then I think you end up missing some of the bigger stuff and your performance is affected. But that's just, you know, from my perspective, because it's very different for each trader out there. Could be the other way around for you. So what it does is it forces you to reevaluate what you're doing. You know, are you trading too much? Are you not trading enough? Are you not putting enough size on? Because sometimes you get very blinkered and you go, right, I need to perform, and you don't get time to step back. So having a little spell of drawdown, whilst it's not desirable, is often better in the long run, because it forces you to reevaluate your strategy, forces you to see what mistakes you might be making that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. The second thing, guys, it stops you from making a bad trading a habit. And this is the big thing, actually, when we think about, you know, when we have a drawdown, if we continue to trade in this way, then it becomes a habit and it's harder to undo it. So let's say we've got a little grid here. Imagine if we've got, let's see if I can draw it somewhere in here. Hopefully we're still on the board here. Imagine we've got this scenario where this is the sweet spot of good trading, okay? We've got whatever that is. And if we kind of go out into this section here, or this section here, this is poor trading that leads to drawdown. And if we kind of go into this section now, then the longer we stay in that section, the more habit inducing that trades become. Maybe we're snatching up profits. Maybe we're over trading. Maybe we're not trading enough size, or whatever, any of those things that we talked about. Then that becomes a habit and it becomes harder to go back to the good trading. Whereas if you catch it early and you have the spell of bad trading, and whatever spell that might be, a few days that's not very good, a few weeks if you're a swing trader, whatever time frame, but then you go, right, okay, what am I doing wrong? And it's easy then to reset back to the center where you know you're an efficient trader and you're a good trader. So that's really something to kind of pay attention to. Don't stay in that bad trading loop for too long, because there's more damage than just to the equity curve. Right, number 3, guys, it gives you time to reflect. So it gives you time to step back, and whilst you might look at just your trading, it gives you time to reflect on, you know, how you respond emotionally to these trades. It gives you time to reflect on not only the operational side of it, your setups, your strategies, your indicators, whatever you use, but also the psychological side of things, you know, your mindset, how you're approaching things in the day, how you're feeling about your trading. You know, it gives you time to kind of step back and look at things from an overview, which is always super powerful, whether you're doing it mid-trade or whether you're doing it after a kind of period like this. The fourth thing is it allows your brain time to reset. So without thinking about trading, it allows your brain to process perhaps all the information you've been receiving during trading and actually do something with it, rather than be concerned about your performance, concerned about the next trade or frustrated about the last trade. And rather than using up all the energy into that, it allows it to reflect and go, oh, remember that trade I took on that Monday? Yes, that was really good. Now let me maybe think about that a bit more. Okay, what about a mistake I made? Okay, and it allows you to look at things again a little bit more objectively, a little bit more kind of from a neutral perspective, without being clouded from frustration or maybe anger or just general disappointment with your performance. The fifth one, guys, is you often remember to have other things in your life besides trading. So you often remember to have balance, and how balance is so important. Those who are subscribed know that very often we talk about balance as some of the things that I read very often in some of the real high performance traders, something that I definitely know myself, a mistake I've made early on in my career. It's way too blinkered, and whilst you think you're doing great and your P&L's fantastic, ultimately you can do so much more and grow so much quicker when you're not actually so blinkered and you've got other things going on in your life. So you think you recognize, you start to appreciate that, you know, life's not all about sitting in front of the screens. Yes, we enjoy it, it's why we do it. Hopefully we're all here because we want to enjoy it and want to make money at the end of the day, but we're doing something we love to do. But ultimately there are other things in life as well. And I think, you know, having a bad spell makes you think, well, you know what, if I've got something else to enjoy and something else to pursue, whether that's a hobby, whether that's, you know, fitness, whether that's, you know, something else, then it just kind of takes, it doesn't become such a burden. The trouble you have is that when you're so focused on trading and so want it so bad, when you go through a spell, it's like the world's ending. Oh my, I've drawn down, you know, whatever the drawdown is, the world's ending, you know, and having other stuff helps you put it into perspective and go, right, you know what, I'll get that back at some point. I'm learning from it. Every drawdown is an improvement. Every drawdown is an opportunity. It's a blessing in disguise. I may not like it at the time, but you always come back stronger from drawdowns. And that's the key thing. You know, they're learning experiences. So those are things, guys, 5 things that I think often help after a spell. Why I think a spell of bad trading is quite good and is a blessing in disguise. If you want to add a 6th or a 7th or an 8th, then please do so in the comments section below. I was interested to hear what you guys think is a benefit of having a bit of a drawdown. We often think of it as a bad thing, but I think there's some benefits, and there's some I've covered there. And while you're down there, guys, check out our channel sponsor. There's a link to them in the description below. If you like this kind of stuff, thumbs up's much appreciated. Take care. Bye-bye.